What up, gamers? Spencer here, and welcome back to Honkai Star Rail. So yeah, let's continue here.
He
It's Sunday at
was a
the
dream chaser
confession.
and an illegal stowaway. Just like the rest of them, he came to Penacony in search of a better life. Except that, to most people, the price he paid, I suppose you could say it was everything. He told me, I sold everything I could at home. The house, the land, even his 2 children. He said he could not afford to raise them, and that at least they could eat if they lived as slaves.
Okay, that's what he meant. Like, for giving children a chance. I thought, at first I thought maybe he said that where, I don't know, maybe for some reason, they would join a dream with him, even though they're slaves. But no, it's because they can at least eat if they're slaves.
He had a plan in place. He would buy back his children once he had made his fortune, and enjoy Penacony's beautiful dream with them. Alas, his plan to smuggle himself was somewhat clumsy, and he was sniffed out by those pig-headed hounds after hearing the Dream Chaser's story. I immediately appealed to the Bloodhound family to cease their pursuit. That way, at least he could live peacefully. But I was still too naive to the ways of the world. I did not anticipate that what I thought was a kind gesture would later lead to dire consequences.
Ooh.
I'll tell you the outcome soon. For now, I'd like you all to make a choice. Will you do as I did and try to convince the Bloodhound family to stop their pursuit so that the Dream Chaser may live peacefully and realize his wishes? Or will you remain silent, leaving him to languish while the hounds are hot on his heels until his inevitable judgment arrives? I look forward to everyone's decisions. Who knows? Perhaps they might even alter the outcome of this tragedy.
Yeah, dude, all this is very, very interesting. Like I said it before in the previous video. Like, yeah, like I know so far, like at first, maybe I was complaining about the gameplay, the lack thereof it. But I think, in general, I think it was more of like just Event Terrain story being like so dragged on. Or at least, it felt like nothing was moving. I do feel like with this, like ever since after Event Terrain, the story has been like moving like faster, like getting on with things in a more like fashionable way. But yeah, I really love this, man. It's actually really cool. Just like discussing the story. Um, at least it's more engaging to me. All right, what do you think?
It seems illegal stowaways are really quite common on Penacony. He sold his kids to chase a dream. Even if he entered with that thought, there's only one choice. Let the Bloodhound send him back home. This person deserves to be punished.
Okay, if they all say that with that choice, I'll just choose the other one. But I will tell you guys like my real choice.
A dream chaser story. If I acted out of kindness, I would probably ask the Bloodhounds to stop their pursuit and lend him a hand.
Okay, so she says, kick him out. Himiko says, stop the pursuit.
But what cruel repercussion would this choice result in? I think Sunday must have been deeply impressed by the limitation.
Okay, what about you, Firefly?
This question. I'd probably choose to ask the Bloodhounds to cease their
Okay. I mean, she is a stowaway too, right? So she would definitely want to have them stop pursuing. Okay, so it looks like those two, they want to cease the pursuit. March says to kick him out. I think for me, like the problem is that, I wish I knew like the options at the present, and also like the future too. Like, obviously, if one leads to a better future, I would probably choose that. But like, given the options of the guy, if like this is his only choice, then yeah, I would probably convince him to stop the pursuit. But like, let's say this guy, he had other options. The thing is, like, I feel like if he did, try to make his, money back in Penacony, I feel like he might be also like maybe become relaxed. Like, I think because of how like comfortable it is in Penacony, I feel like he doesn't want to give that luxurious life up. Like, yeah, maybe at first he'll try to work for his kids, but then like after experiencing just how nice things are in here, maybe he would just not want to pursue that goal anymore. You know? But then yeah, with this here, I mean, it just really depends on the options, man, that he had at the time. Because maybe he could have had a better way of like making the money back. I mean, it's hard to say when you don't know the future. I think for me personally, I mean, I'm usually a rule follower, so I would probably go with this. And it seems like, the other two are there. I would do this. I mean, we'll see. I mean, maybe both outcomes will probably be bad. I will remain silent.
It seems you, like me, are pondering whether a different choice could have led to a better outcome. Sadly, his fate would only be more tragic.
I'm choosing all the worst outcomes. I think that'll be my goal here. I want to choose all the worst outcomes.
Say he never gets caught. He would only die from delirium. The methods with which illegal stowaways enter dreams are unorthodox. Not flawless like the hotels. Living in the dreamscape would be a mere pipe dream, should he be apprehended. Could the hounds afford to turn a blind eye? The answer is a definitive no. They couldn't bear the resulting consequences, and thus wouldn't dare extend a helping hand. As to your choice, I once again offer my heartfelt apologies. Next comes the third and final decision, and the story this time is my own. This story happened the day I was appointed the Oak family head. At that time, Mr. Gopherwood was the current Dream Master, and as per his wish, we had a private conversation. What surprised me was that the Dream Master had only come to deliver a letter to me. He let me read its contents, and it was a letter from my sister. The letter contained the usual pleasantries, anecdotes from her travels. Nothing out of the ordinary. Just as I started wondering how this letter related to our discussion, the Dream Master began to speak.
Do you know who wrote this letter?
My sister, of course. But why would you personally visit me to hand me a letter from my sister containing mere trivialities?
To help you grasp the full scope of this issue. Do you know where Robin is at this moment?
From what the letter indicates, she must be in Caspolina 8, correct? She's touring there right now.
Correct. Has she mentioned anything about a stray bullet?
A stray bullet? What?
A war has broken out on that planet. It is because of this very reason that Robin chose this destination.
Oh boy.
To spread the word of the Harmony. And to save the lives of that planet. She personally made for the front lines.
I can see where maybe like the bird in the cage might come in. Because yeah, like Robin wants to be on the front lines. Sunday wants to be like just cozy at home.
She
where
hoped
it's safe.
to ease the people's suffering with song, and was willing to brave mortal danger to deliver the IPC's medical supplies. Unfortunately, stray bullets show no such compassion. Is she alright? If the operation was successful, she should probably be recovering in the field hospital.
Oh wow.
By the eon above, the bullet struck her neck directly. Yet
Wait, what?
possibly as a reward for her consistent deeds of harmony, it didn't hit any vital arteries.
But I'm confused now. I thought she said it's because of the whole, like the whole order thing.
Write her back as soon as possible.
I feel like that one makes more sense of her losing her singing voice.
Those damned savages. I'll pack my bags right away. My gratitude for bringing this to my attention, Mr. Gopherwood. Now you understand why she always wears such elaborate neck ornaments, don't you?
Oh, I did not even know that.
How could this happen? Miss Robin.
It's all in the past, so please don't worry. I share this in the meager hope that you will understand the harmony's limitations and predicament. As grandiose as the strong defending the weak sounds, many times, it is nothing more than wishful thinking. Likewise, I've prepared one last question, one last choice. But rest assured, this choice will not have any grave consequences, because this is merely a figment of imagination, a nightmare that has haunted me through countless nights. If you ever had the opportunity to make a choice like I did, would you still support Robin's journey on the path of harmony?
I mean, yeah, if that's what she wants to do. I think I can definitely understand him stopping Robin. But you know, Robin is an adult now. She can do whatever she wants, so I feel like for me it's a straightforward answer here. If she was a kid, I would maybe stop her. But yeah, she's an adult. She can do whatever she wants. Even though I would recommend for her to stop because it might be getting dangerous for her. Anyways.
I can't believe that happened to Miss Robin.
You don't know what to do? Well, make up your mind. I made up my mind.
I often feel like I've dreamt of similar scenes, their confusion and fear. If Mr. Sunday's question leaves you puzzled, you with each trailblaze, dangers and tribulations will surely follow. But would you ever back away?
Okay.
Miss Robin's courage is admirable, but the fact that she is also Mr. Sunday's younger sister?
Okay, looks like everyone is not really decided on. Instead, they just want me to think.
Miss Robin's courage is but the fact that she is also Mr. Sunday's younger sister? No, I doubt he'd wish harm on his own flesh and blood.
I'm gonna guess maybe Firefly is more on Sunday's side. No, I would support Robin. That's what I would do. I feel like Himiko was more like, you know, if I read that right, since I, you know, like speedrunned it. It was more of her like just getting us to think, instead of like her giving an answer. But yeah, I'll support her. She's an adult. She can do whatever she wants. Yeah. I feel like this is the most easiest choice for me, even though the way they present it here, like they make it seem like it's hard to choose.
I am now aware of everyone's stances.
I feel like the previous two choices were more like tougher to think about.
Raising these questions merely serves to illustrate one point. The plight of Penacony cannot be salvaged by the harmony. The true foundation for a sweet dream paradise can only be established through the order, where the strong govern the weak.
I guess I can see it like this, where if I was Sunday, then yeah, I would probably stop Robin, but because I'm like, you know, not related to her, like I want the best for her, but you know, she can make her own decisions.
I know the suffering of being tormented.
She's an adult.
The turmoil of losing your way. How sorrow, and even despair, set in when matters don't work out. All of this causes me unending pain. Because this is not what happiness is at all.
And also too, like just the way the story here is framed, it is more biased towards Sunday. I feel like we really haven't been getting Robin's side of things because I feel like, you know, she brought up some good points, but we don't really get that in this context. It did feel like the way the decisions are laid out to be, like it did feel like it was catered more to Sunday than what Robin would choose.
We must teach the weak how to live a happy life. And this life isn't some noble propriety that the upper
And I'm sure that's on
crust
purpose
preaches,
too, you know?
but in definitive terms, a way of
Like that
survival
writing is on purpose where
belongs
it's
to
more
everyone.
catered to Sunday.
So, what is your definition of living a happy life?
Good question. Human consciousness is fundamentally an illusion, a cage known as self-worth. People lured in by this illusion make mistakes, yet still ask that external influences bear the burden. When one mistake after the next permeates the masses, they become impossible to trace. Thus, the amassing of these individual cages culminate to form a prison. A place dictated only by the rule of survival of the fittest.
Yeah, I just realized now, like the whole bird in the cage thing, like it's way more than I thought than just like the beliefs of Sunday and Robin, but it's the entirety of Penacony. I just realized that now.
Nature is always accompanied by predation and sacrifice. Its antithesis is known as order. That is what I want to do. Unite people's happiness under the banner of order. They won't need to make bitter choices any longer, nor face the weaknesses of humanity. They can cast aside their primal instincts to build a haven for mankind. Simply describing thoughts is far too abstract, so allow me to provide a simple example. As you all may know, there are societal norms like weekends and long weekends that exist on some worlds. During these hard-earned rest days, people are given the chance to extricate themselves from the stresses of everyday life, allowing a certain tranquility to return to their souls. And it is only on these days that people do not have to adhere to the law where the strong prey on the weak. They can live out their lives happily during these brief intermissions. It's just a pity that 2 or 3 days are still too fleeting compared to the span of a lifetime. From where I stand, society's ideal system should be 7 rest days.
Dang.
Following Sunday,
Wait.
a second, a third, and indeed an
No.
infinite procession of Sundays. This should
Is
be
that
the
why
face
his
of
name
the
is
new world.
Sunday?
Idyllic, eternal, peaceful days.
I actually like that. Dang, mind blown. That is so cool. Man. And yeah, with Robin, I mean, I'm sure she's supposed to represent the bird, too. So yeah, Robin is the bird, Sunday's the cage. Dude, this is so cool with the symbolism. That's so cool.
And thus, every person can return to their base selves in this utopia. Some gaze in reverence at the stars, pouring their whole beings into calculating the distance between us and the isolated world of Pagana. Meanwhile, some seek refuge in quiet corners, holding one another, unencumbered by the chains of unwelcome obligations. There would be no need to bear the hardships of reality. Only in this way can humanity face the inevitable end with the purest of spirit, living a life of dignity. This is what it is to live in bliss. Miss Firefly, you who are stricken with entropy loss syndrome, you of all would surely understand this.
It sounds like a flawless theory.
But what is the price to attain all this?
The cost is minute, merely a personal and eternal sacrifice. If this paradise is to be maintained for everyone, someone must remain trapped in solitary awakening until the end of the cosmos.
Oh wow,
Awakening.
it's kind of sad.
Which means that this so-called paradise is still a dream. Stepping into this paradise means forsaking reality, correct?
It is not forsaking, but transcending. Flesh, blood, sorrow, weakness. If the physical is the root of spiritual suffering, it is only logical that we defeat it.
But in this supposed bliss, people won't have defeated their demons. The chance to overcome their
Here we go.
tribulations would be forever lost to them. In other words, it is an escape.
True. True. Okay, finally we're getting some like backfire from Firefly here. Let's go. Because I feel like this whole time it's all been about Sunday, and then everyone's kind of like agreeing with him in a way. Yeah, very cool.
That's another way of understanding it. But there is no shame in escape. On the contrary, the seeds of escape exist in everyone's hearts. Don't you agree, Miss Firefly? And as for why life slumbers, it is because we are afraid to awaken from our dreams. But this is not in conflict with the grand plan. Only in acknowledging this can we truly understand the frailty of human nature. And from there, show compassion and protection.
I admit that you are a born leader. Your perspective on humanity brims with pessimism. Yet you express compassion for all. Even when your heart pities them. But unlike you, I live for the self. From my perspective, individuals making choices for themselves is their birthright.
That is true. Individuals making choices for themselves is their birthright. That's what I thought too. Like along the way is that I think, just give them a choice like I did for Robin. If people want to be, slumbering here, that's their choice. If people want to live in reality and, live as a real human, that's their choice too. That's what I would say. Just give them choices instead of like maybe forcing everyone to do one thing.
The want to escape may be innate in the weak. But whether they are weak or not, it is not up to another to decide.
Yeah, I agree. This
Perhaps
is
in
where
your
my mindset goes to.
You also view me as weak? Because I don't think so.
Since Miss Firefly has said her piece, the Astral Express will also naturally give you our answer. We'll leave it to you. Just as Mr. McHale instructed before. Tell him our choice.
We follow the path of the Trailblaze. Oh, what? Where are we going now? No. Oh, now. Not so long ago.
What is this place?
Does this place ring any bells, Misha?
So apparently this happened about Mr. McHale, the choice thing.
I don't know, but I feel a sense of deja vu. What is this place?
It's the realm within a dream bubble. This was left to the Astral Express by a nameless, but weirdly, when we entered it, it was completely empty. Dr. Edward from the Dreamscape sales store told me that dreams are formed from memories, and a dream bubble can't take shape if its core is empty. So I thought you might be able to help us in unraveling this mystery, Misha. As a hotel doorman, you know Penacony best among us.
I don't know much about dream bubbles, but if you want to figure out what this mansion is, I'll do my best.
I'm counting on you then.
Himeko, I still don't get it. Why were you so sure that Misha had a connection with this dream bubble?
I wasn't sure. It was just a hunch. But since Misha
Is Misha
seems
Mikhail?
familiar with this place,
Your hunch might be correct. This place looks a bit familiar.
exactly. This is where you and Firefly encountered death.
Oh, I
which
didn't
we
even
now
recognize
know
it.
as dormancy. Considering its connection to Dreamflux Reef, it's not surprising it appeared here. The question now is, who brought you here? Based on the clues we have so far, it's unlikely to be that masked fool. So identifying them is crucial to us. We're drawing closer to the truth once more. Let's give Misha some time, as I believe he'll unveil the secret of this dream bubble.
Alright, but there are doors all over the place. Which one should we choose? Do you have any idea, Misha?
I guess maybe this way?
Okay, following you.
I'm not entirely sure, but let's give it a try.
Oh, they also have a sprinting animation. I just saw that. That's
Wait,
cool.
You managed to choose the right door?
Weird. This place is quite different from the hotel. But I feel like I've been here before, and even lived here for a while. If I remember correctly, there should be a fireplace down that hallway. Clocky and I used to sit by the fire, listening to the crackling of firewood.
So wait, if Misha is really Mikhail, I guess that makes sense since he can see Clocky. So is Misha like a reincarnation of the watchmaker?
And the room on the other side was the toy room. I loved spreading out all the toys from the box on the floor and making up stories for each of them. Hold on. This doesn't make sense. Didn't I grow up in Dreamflux Reef? So, what is this place?
This could be a case of amnesia. But don't worry, Misha. It's common for everyone to forget certain aspects of the past. Those memories haven't vanished. They're just lying in the depths of your mind. We can surely get them back.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a thing where like, it's like a memory from a previous life, which I'm guessing is Mikhail.
Since this place seems familiar to you, why don't we explore a few more rooms and see if you can recall anything more?
Yeah, then let's check out the rooms I just mentioned.
Let's go to this one.
Mikhail, that's the name. Now we all know him as the Watchmaker. So, who is he talking to? Do you know anything about it, Misha?
I'm sorry, I don't know much about the Watchmaker. But Mikhail,
Anything special about that name?
Mikhail is
Hmm.
his grandpa's name.
Grandpa.
Grandpa? Do you mean you're the Watchmaker's grandson?
Dang, dude. He just, I thought maybe he would be at least in a prestigious position as, like, the watchmaker's grandson, but he's a bellboy.
But we haven't heard anything about the Watchmaker having descendants. And the name Mikhail is not rare. Perhaps it's merely a coincidence.
I'm sure it's like a reincarnation type thing since he can remember Clocky. I'm sure Mikhail did that with Clocky too.
Could you tell us more about your grandpa, Mikhail?
Yeah, sure. He was a seafarer who fearlessly ventured into mysterious seas and storms. He was always on the sea and had lots of friends who accompanied him on his travels.
Sounds like the Trailblaze.
He didn't want me to call him Grandpa because that would make him sound old. He believed he was still young. The name
Oh,
Mikhail
Mihai
was
and
given to him
Elise.
by his parents, Mihaly and Elise,
Or Mihaly.
both renowned seafarers.
It reminds me of that one name, that one guy that invented the concept of flow. I think his name was Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, which is a hard name to, I think, pronounce in general. But yeah, it was spelled like, I think, Mihaly here. But I think it will be pronounced as Mihai, I think. Like Mihai Csikszentmihalyi.
Every time he came back,
But yeah, that person
he'd
that I
share
just talked
his
about, he
logbook with me
invented the
and
concept
tell me
of
about his
flow,
adventures at sea.
I think.
I want to become a great adventurer, just like him.
Like pretty much like, you know when you play a game, like that one more game at like 12 a.m. and the next thing you know, it's like already 6 a.m. because like you're just so into it and time just flies. Yeah, that's what flow is.
It appears that the seafarer has nothing to do with the watchmaker. So, perhaps it's just a coincidence? So, where is your grandpa now?
He went off on a new journey. And it's been quite a while since I last saw him. So, where has Clocky gone? Did he leave to protect Dreamville?
Got this door here. Oh, what was that noise? Tick tock. I mean, that's what Clocky would say, right? Tick tock.
I heard some noises from the room. Origami Bird? That's a friend of mine.
You and Origami Bird are friends?
Yeah. It's a member of the Compass crew, just like Clocky and Miss Mirror. And there's more than just one Origami Bird. They are a big family with lots of brothers and sisters who look the same. They follow Miss Mirror's orders and handle all sorts of jobs on the ship. They're the best sailors.
Sailors? Can Origami Birds be sailors?
Could you tell us more about the compass, Misha?
The Compass is a ship bound for the New World. Clocky and his partners travel through layers of fog to the depths of the sea. Whenever there is danger, Clocky will use a compass and guide the ship in the right direction.
That's a great story. But in the Penacony cartoon, Clocky and his partners have always lived in Dreamville and never ventured out, right?
Huh? Oh, that does seem to be the case. Weird. I clearly remember Clocky arrived in the New World in the end.
Perhaps Clocky has a hidden past.
It kind of sounds like with the Pinnacle cartoon, they just want to keep it within the realm of like, you know, stay at your home and don't venture out into the sea.
I think I hear the sound of water.
Yeah, I can definitely understand the whole theme of Penacony now.
Fountain up ahead.
Alright.
Look, there it is.
The water resembles a precious jewel, embedded in the dreams of all seafarers. Every time I gaze at the shimmering lights beneath the waves, it feels as though I'm back in this place, standing by your side.
Have you recalled anything, Misha?
Yeah, I saw these sentences in Grandpa's logbook. He used to say that despite the perils of the sea, whenever he stood on the deck in the afternoon, overlooking the sparkling waves, he would think of this fountain in front of his house. He often said that those moments felt like returning to his family's side, and the difficulties at sea didn't seem quite as challenging.
You know, I quite understand such sentiments.
Don't sigh. Or you'll start getting gray hair like me.
Hey, don't tease! I was just being a bit sentimental.
Perhaps every adventurer far from home carries a fountain within their soul. Even though the other side of the sea remains shrouded in the unknown, the fountain in front of his house serves as a compass, leading him back to his cherished ones.
Yeah, while Grandpa was at home, we would stand by the fountain and place the compass, a toy boat that I made, into the pool. Back then, I would ask him when I could go on adventures like him, and he would always laugh and say I was still too young.
It seems this Mikhail is truly a seafarer and has nothing to do with the watchmaker.
Yeah. Based on Misha's recollections, the scenes in the dream bubble appear to be his childhood memories.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure with the whole Mikhail thing, I think it's just more like, just replace the word sailor to nameless, then it all makes sense.
But this raises more questions. According to Misha, he was clearly born on an oceanic planet and led an ordinary life, with no connection to Penacony at all. Could this be some sort of metaphor? Perhaps the sea refers to the memory zone.
I'm sorry. I don't know, but my memories keep pouring out uncontrollably, like water flowing from a fountain.
Maybe he's from Fontaine. To be honest, he does look like he'll be from Fontaine in Genshin Impact.
Perhaps I'll remember more things if we go
Just the way
further.
like he's dressed up, and he looks like he would be using hydro. Or I guess in this game he freezes people, right? So cryo, I guess.
I wish to share your burden.
It does look like more of a,
We're going to the opposite
yeah, now that I
side,
think about
right?
it.
No, we should turn left here.
It does seem like more of a male version of Farina.
Huh? Something feels different about this place.
Up ahead is Grandpa's study. It was in that room that I saw him the last time.
We've overcome so many challenges!
Jeez.
The atmosphere
Clocky.
in this room feels totally different.
Misha! You finally come!
Let's go. Can they see him or no? Just Welt, me, and Misha maybe still.
Lucky, you're here. Yeah. This is the room where we first met each other.
Are those books on the bookshelf logbooks left behind by that seafarer?
Yeah. Whenever he came back, he placed a logbook on the bookshelf in his room. They contain records of his expeditions to every corner of the world. He described our world as a fountain. At some point, the sea started to gradually swallow up the land where people lived.
Wait, is he really from Fontaine? Is there really a connection there? That sounds like the freaking prophecy. I have not finished Fontaine yet. It kind of feels like a future where like Fontaine got swallowed up. Wow.
To ensure that everyone had land to settle on.
Just the word like
They had
fountain
to
and fontaine
continue
and stuff.
exploring the
And the
sea.
water.
And search for the source of the rising seawater.
It kind of feels like an alternate universe. Like I'm sure like, Fontaine doesn't get flooded in Genshin Impact. But, like just imagine like that it does. And then this is like the future of that.
On that day, he called me to his study, telling me that he was embarking on another journey. However, I could sense the gravity in his expression. It was the same look I had seen on my father's face before his final voyage. I asked him if I could go with him, but he said that my adventure lay elsewhere and told me to stay home and patiently await a certain sound at the door.
What sound?
He told me about a vast ocean in the sky, an ocean of stars. He spoke of a train that transports children with a desire
train.
to venture far away, traversing the sea of stars without ever stopping.
Yeah, trailblazing.
He said that he knew the crew on the train, and that he had asked them to take me along. He said the journey I had always dreamed of would start there.
A train? could it be?
Yeah, Astral Express.
It's the Astral Express. I remember now. Grandpa's friends are a group of nameless who came to this world to resolve a disaster caused by a star. Then, he gave his pocket watch to me. It was his cherished treasure, appearing in every one of his adventure tales. He explained that difficult times were ahead, but assured me that the watch would guide me. He said, as long as I kept moving forward, I'd eventually reach my desired destination. And then, it was as if I heard the distant sound of a train whistle, echoing throughout the room.
Exactly, Misha! And then we followed that whistle, didn't we?
Yeah. I think I can still find the way we took back then.
Okay. Find a way? Oh. I thought it was like up there. I was looking at the map.
This is the dream jigsaw, right? So we're supposed to find the exit. But where can we find the last piece?
You gotta look around for
Do
it.
you remember? You said you obtained a mysterious shard when you stumbled into this place.
I did. Check the inventory.
Hey, the shape seems to match. So this shard is also connected to Misha?
Looks like we're just one step from revealing the truth. Let's get to the other side and investigate.
Sure. I'm sure this is somewhere in the middle. Or do I need to rotate? Yeah, like that. Oh, wait a minute, what? Doesn't fit there. Okay, hold on. There we go. Okay.
So that's how it works.
All right. And where does this go?
This is it. This is my room of clocks. While I spent my time waiting for Grandpa to return from his voyage, Walter gave me this workshop, and it became my secret base. Here,
Walder.
I learned how to repair clockwork and gears, out of my fondness for precision mechanics. In my dreams, I was the captain of the compass, embarking on adventures with my companions, Clocky and Miss Mirror, in search of the new world. I was born and raised here.
So, this building in the dream bubble is your childhood home?
Yes, but not exactly. To be more precise, this dream bubble itself is my home.
Looks like you've remembered everything now.
Wait. Why does it feel like everyone else knows something I don't?
Yeah, seems like Himiko knows. Like everything. I mean, I feel like I can piece things together. Yeah, you're only one still in the dark. I mean, I think he's like a reincarnation or something, or I mean, I can see the timeline here, but I guess he's not a reincarnation. That means I'll just say this just to make myself sound like I know what I'm saying.
Marge, do you remember when he mentioned a clocky that only he could see?
Yeah, the little guy here, right? But we all saw him in Dreamflux Reef, right? And Mr.
Oh,
Yang
everyone
even
saw him.
greeted
Everyone saw him. I thought only. Okay, I thought you couldn't see him still.
Looks like everyone in the Astral Express has a childlike spirit.
The answer lies in the Astral Express. His experience shows that neither Firefly nor Acheron can see this clocky.
Okay, that makes sense.
And when we were in Dreamflux Reef, you may have noticed that for some reason, nobody outside of the crew had ever talked with Clocky.
Yeah. It just Welt, right?
A mimetic life that can only
Welt and me
be
at
seen
first.
by a select few. It's just like a hidden message left by someone for the nameless.
But Misha can see Clocky too, right? They even grew up together. But Misha hasn't started the way of the Trailblaze yet.
That's the key to the mystery, March. Now, take a moment to recall. Have you ever seen anyone outside of the crew interact with Misha?
Oh. Oh. Okay, I didn't think about that. So is Misha like Clocky?
Wait. No way!
That's the answer, March 7th. This dream bubble is the place where I was born. And I'm a dweller in this dream. Just like a memory zone me.
Man.
I should have stayed here and waited for you. But when reality and memories merged, I unconsciously pushed open that door and left the bubble with Clocky.
So it's not that the Watchmaker's dream bubble is empty, but rather the stuff inside ran away?
That makes sense. It does make a lot of sense. Okay.
And the whistle you heard was the sound of the express arriving at Penacony?
That's one way to see it, but I believe there's a longer story behind all this. It's best for Misha himself to explain all the details. How about we start with your name? Now, should we call you Misha or...
Mikhail.
Thank you all for helping me rediscover my true self. Now, please allow me to reintroduce myself.
There we go. My name is Mikhail.
I was born on Lushaka, in the Presmere system. Adopted by seafarers Mikhail and Char.
Oh.
They gave me a treasure. A name that carried their hopes. Mikhail Char Legwork.
There we go.
Or simply, Misha.
Where does the, I guess the shell come from? I can see where the me comes from Mikhail, like me. Is it the Shar? How does he pronounce the Shar?
Mikhail Char Legwork. Or
Oh, wait, it says it there. Mikhail Char. It says it right there. I ignored it. Wow. That is so cool, man. This is such a cool reveal. I love this.
if you prefer, you can call me by a more familiar name. The Watchmaker.
And the Watchmaker's a 4-star. Dude, you have someone so epic like Gallagher and Misha here, they're like 4 stars.
So, you're the Watchmaker himself?
Unfortunately, that legendary figure is no more. I'm only a reflection of his life. As for the child who has been with you, he's the innocent protagonist of Misha's childhood dream. Friend of Clocky, a young apprentice, and a future mechanic on the Express. And this also marks the beginning of his journey, devoted to the Trailblaze.
At the end of the journey, I left this little flame, which I so cherished, in my deepest dreams, hoping to pass it on to the nameless of future generations. However, he somehow left the dream bubble and forgot all about his task. I apologize for all the confusion this caused.
Because he was born with a desire to trailblaze, wasn't he? I don't think Misha has forgotten his role as a guide. He remembered it, and that's why he mistakenly appeared as a hotel doorman in his dream from the very beginning.
Okay, I can see that.
The one who brought our unconscious friend here must have been Misha. If that's the case, we encountered the Watchmaker's legacy from the beginning, didn't we?
Well, I have a sarcastic friend who says I always take big detours and end up back where I started. Perhaps that's what every nameless has to go through. But in the end, you found me. I'm sure you're all wondering what my legacy is. I believe my hound has mentioned the Stellaron and my wealth. If I may apologize, the Stellaron part is real. As for my wealth, however, it's nothing more than a baseless rumor. I left my homeland as a child and embarked on the journey of Trailblaze. I traveled to various planets until finally reaching Asdana, where my friends and I built the original Penacony and fought for its future ever since. I've been moving forward all my life, doing what I could to overcome the obstacles in my path. But ultimately, my journey reached its end, and I left behind no possessions worth entrusting. So, if you ask what's left within this worn-out train engine that can be called a legacy, I suppose it's the things that are still burning in the engine's furnace. Now that you're well aware of the current situation of Penacony, I certainly hope that you'll help me get this world back on track. But I'll leave that decision to you, for the path of Trailblaze is never paved by others. All I have for you is a story and 2 gifts.
Story and 2 gifts.
I want to give you my pocket watch. It has accompanied me throughout my long journey, guiding that naive child forward, and has been blessed with the presence of so many great people up to this day. And my hat, too.
And a hat.
The one who navigated for me placed it on my head.
This is where we become the Harmony.
Thought in my mind. The trailblazing expedition will never end.
So yeah, I think I'll go ahead and end it here, because I feel like the next video, in case there might be a cutscene like just right after this where it becomes the Harmony, I'd rather like title the next video like Becoming the Harmony Trailblazer. Dude, that's so cool, man. I really do love the story, man. It's getting like so good, and also it just really helps Misha here now, because at first, wow, I just realized there's a keyhole in his iris on his eye. Like, yeah, there wasn't much with Misha at first. Like, he was just like a weirdo that could see Clocky. Like, this whole thing, it's so cool. This whole reveal. I love that. Anyway, guys, yeah, next time we'll resume this. That'll be for now. That's game.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good